Hey guys, welcome to Jack's Treasures and What? Not Another Reselling Podcast, where we focus on live reselling and we don't edit. We come out raw, guys, basically because I'm lazy as shit and I don't like doing all that stuff. We try not to sugarcoat. In other words, really what I'm trying not to do is I'm not trying to point at this great rosy picture of reselling. I want to bring the truth about live reselling. Now, today's host is very, very special to me and to Tracy because we're recording this on a Monday. We're going to be out of town, going to the Northeast Tennessee Meetup. And this topic came about from a train he hosted yesterday, and it was called Climbing, 2 days ago, my bad, Climbing the Whatnot Ladder Raid Train. And it is hosting that, and we're going to talk about how it went from concept to inception. And this is going to be a great show. I think you all are really, really going to enjoy it.
Our guest today is Ken, also known as the Gumby Man.
Yes.
He's a seller on Whatnot, and he hosted the Climb the Ladder Raid Train that Brian just mentioned. Mm-hmm. We also had the pleasure of meeting both him and his wife.
Oh, no, whoa. That's privilege.
That's not what I said. A privilege.
Privilege. We had the privilege
of meeting Ken and his wife at the Nashville Reseller Meetup. And he is also one of the 3 original old guys of Whatnot.
That's right.
And most of all, he's someone we're proud to call a friend.
We are. But before we get to the question, Ken, go ahead and introduce yourself real quickly for our audience.
All right. Like they said, my name is Ken. I go by the Gumby Man on pretty much any platform you know of. Been reselling for quite a while, and happy to be here with you guys and ready to field any hardball or softball questions you may want to throw my way.
Well, let's start soft here. How did you come up with the name Gumby Man?
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Now, we know this story, guys, so y'all want to listen to this because this was a question that was going to come up no matter what.
This is, way back in the day, early 80s and into the mid 80s, I used to be a breakdancer, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. I was a breakdancer. I was a tall fella. I'm 6'4". I'm kind of lanky. I'm not big and stout, as you can see. Brooklyn right now. Yeah, I'm not big and stout. So I had my own different way of dancing. Everybody was doing the popping and locking and spinning. And I was more of a flexible kind of guy, right? So I'm over there dancing, doing my thing. Because, everybody, we had the dance competitions, right? You would dance and you'd point to somebody and they would dance and do their thing and spin around. And you're supposed to top one another, right? That's where I get my competitive side from. So I'm over there dancing, and from across the road, some guy hollers out, "Yo, that dude looks like Gumby. He dances like Gumby." And then on, in my dancing career, or whatever you want to call it, I was known as Gumby, and it just transformed over the years to Gumby Man. So when it came time to reselling and being on all these social platforms, everybody always wants to have a name, right? What's the great name? Like, you guys are Jack's Treasures. There's a name behind that. I said, what the heck? Gumby Man, the Gumby Man. And I started on my first platform. My name, the Gumby Man, was on eBay. So I'm the Gumby Man on eBay. And then and that's how I got my name right there.
I'm telling you, that story gets better every time I hear it and stuff. I swear to God, when we met Gumby Man in the Northeast, or not Northeast, but in the Tennessee Meetup, it was probably one of the highlights of my trip there, along with meeting like Jen's Multiverse and some of the others. But Gumby is somebody that I connected with right away, and because Gumby and I are very super close in age. He's got me by about a month and 5 days, I think is what it is.
Who's counting,
and he rubs that in my face all the time that he's the first original old guy by a month and a few and stuff. So,
and both these guys are very outgoing, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah. We tend to talk. We tend to talk a lot.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what I tell her.
And you know how hard it is right now for me to sit here and listen to you answer me questions. I want to talk.
You will have plenty of time with that too. So this is our real talk questions and answers here, where we're going to ask somewhat tough questions of our guests, and hopefully everybody will gain some just super knowledge on what we are talking about today.
Our first question is the same question to absolutely everybody. We just want to know, how did you get started reselling?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I piddled around with eBay a little bit just because, I think everybody did, right? Everybody and their brother. I've been on eBay, I think, for 2002, I think. I can't remember. If you look me up, it'll show you my date, whatever. I think it's 2001 or 2002. And I piddled with that, just things here and there. But what really got me into reselling was about 13 years ago, I was involved in an accident. And a lot of people don't know this. I was involved in an accident, and I was out of work literally for almost 2 years. During that time frame, it was rough.
Yeah.
I had my knee replaced during that period of time. I had my right shoulder replaced during that period of time. So all that together, I was pretty much immobile. But I didn't want to go freaking crazy. I can't. I'm an active guy. I don't want to sit around a house and sit here and look at a TV screen 9 to 10 hours a day and then go to sleep, wake up and do the same thing. So after I got to where I was a little bit mobile, not enough to where I could really go do anything majorly productive. And for the life of me, I can't remember what the first item I bought, but I remember I spent $5. I might have bought it at a yard sale. I can't remember all the details, but I remember buying something, and I did nothing but dust it off, clean it up, and I posted it. I don't know. I think it was Facebook Marketplace. I think it was posted on Facebook Marketplace, I think, or some sort of online platform or something similar there. Maybe Craigslist. Maybe that.
Right.
Because 13 years ago, I think Craigslist wasn't a fact, and I sold it for $10. I'm like, oh wow, I could take a $5 item and turn it into 10. And I was in a pretty financially bleak situation, so I was barely getting enough to cover that, and that gave me food. That gave me money to eat off of, guys. I mean, so I became a reseller not because I wanted to, but because of need. And there's nothing else. I couldn't go work a job. I couldn't do nothing like that. So I had to figure out something I could do. And if I got tired and not feeling well, I could put it to the side and continue.
Right.
That's how I got my start.
That's awesome. See, we didn't know anything about that.
You didn't know that, did you?
No, but it's very similar to mine, whereas I had gotten a divorce and I was a teacher. And as a teacher, I think we lost Gumby there for a minute. I think you might be frozen. Gumby, you still here there?
Yeah, you're frozen.
I'm frozen.
Yeah. Okay. One of us has got some internet issues. I'm going to hope that
there we go. Now we're back.
Buffering will catch up to it later on.
But when I got a divorce, I had to sell all of my collectible comic books that I had. And because I like to eat, and after I sold all of those, I still needed to eat. And teachers only get paid once a month. So that's how I started getting my reselling. So definitely not as tragic as an accident.
Very similar. Very similar. Out of need, much less out of want.
I was need based too, taking care of a young child without a lot of support from a spouse.
Yes, exactly. You have the follow up.
Oh, and our follow up to that: how did you discover Whatnot?
Yeah.
Whatnot I was through my oldest son. My oldest son, his name's Austin. He's South Carolina Thrift, I think.
Okay.
Is his name. He was on there. He goes, Dad, I found this platform where I can go on and I can sell live. I can schedule shows. And the way he explained to me, I'm like, you do what? You got to schedule a show and this and that. I'm thinking you had to schedule it around people, right? That's what I was thinking. You had to, if you guys had a show, I had to schedule mine after yours. But he goes, no, you schedule whenever you want. There's multiple people on at the same time. I'm going to go, huh? I said, but do they sell stuff I'm selling? He goes, well, he started off selling cards and stuff and Funko Pops, and he sold toys. So it kind of fit in. He goes, I think they're selling vintage decor now, which is basically what I was doing. I was like, okay. So my very first show was December 6th, Be 3 years from this coming December. So that's what, 22, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
December 6th, 2022. It was actually in this very room right here. We set up a little table over there with a ring light. You know, I don't use a ring light no more, but with a ring light, and had all my items preloaded, all that kind of stuff. I didn't know what I was supposed to do on there. So I put him in as a mod. He basically ran everything. I was just showing it and talking about it, and he would run it. Right. And my very first show, I sold $221 of little small trinket stuff. I'm hooked.
Awesome.
I am hooked.
Yes.
Right? I mean, wait a minute. You know, I mean, now I was still, at that point in time, I was wide open on Marketplace. I had my own Facebook Marketplace group page, Furniture Plus of Anderson SC, which stands for South Carolina. And I was literally selling on there. I have shipped to all 50 states in the nation, including Alaska and Hawaii through Marketplace. And I was probably bringing in $35,000 to $5,000 a month on Marketplace.
Wow.
I was rocking.
Wow, on the Marketplace too. That's awesome.
I have a group. It's still somewhat active with almost 10,000 followers that just follow me, and that hasn't been totally really active for 3 years now. So they're still there though. So every once in a while, I post something on and boom, I sell it. So awesome. I really need to get back to diversifying. I think everybody does. I think reselling, really, you can't throw all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Agreed.
Which I kind of did with Whatnot. I'm trying to get back to diversifying.
100% same. This was my month of revamping my eBay, and I'm already seeing the results. It's amazing.
I need to. My problem is now I know Ryan doesn't work with Tracy. Is this your full-time job too?
It is.
This is our full-time job.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is both y'all's full-time job. I don't quite have that luxury yet. I've still got to show up at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, get off at 4:30. So I've got to be there. I've also got two other facilities that sometimes I got to drive to. So that's my problem. However, right now it does pay the bills. So I'm not complaining.
Right.
But I really want to go full-time into total reselling, because during my accident, I was a full-time. And
right.
And once I got better, I became a full-time reseller. And then a job fell in my lap, and I couldn't say no. You know,
you gotta do what puts food on the table. 100%.
Yeah, well, we're going to try to build up all of that stuff. So those that site that you were talking about on Facebook, on your Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I need to get it
going. There's going to be a link down below, because I'm going to get Gumby to send me that link, and I'm going to put the link down below in the description of the podcast, and I'm going to encourage everybody that watches this to go into there and check that out.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Shipping to all 50 states.
Yep, I've shipped to all 50 states in the nation through Facebook Marketplace. Can you believe that? It's crazy.
I don't think, have we ever shipped anything on Facebook
Marketplace? No, I've never shipped anything. I've had people ask me to ship stuff on Marketplace, but generally everything that I do on Facebook Marketplace is all local pickup because it's bigger
all
items.
The big stuff. Yeah, the big stuff's local.
Yep.
But
so you know what?
They were really pushing. Marketplace was pushing their
shipping. Yeah.
And they actually had it integrated with their shipping. Now they've kind of backed away from that, and you have to do it on your own, but you can still say you offer shipping.
Okay.
Well, I might have to edit everything that we just talked about out and have Ken back on again to talk about selling live or selling on Facebook Marketplace. Absolutely. Because that really, really is fascinating. I'm not going to edit it out, but I am going to have him back, because I do want to talk about that. All right, for those
can have me back anytime you want to. I don't care. I enjoy this.
You got it, my friend. For those of you that are new to the concept of a raid train, Ken, what is an actual raid train on Whatnot, and how does it work?
Okay. A raid train, the concept itself is very, very simple. It's a group of buyers that have a common goal, that line up
sellers, you mean?
Have a show, and then once their show is complete, they go into the other show.
Right.
So say, for instance, I have my show first. I'm the Gumby man. I have in a lot of time. It's already set. Designated times are already set up. I mean, they go for anywhere from 5 minutes to I've seen them go for 2 hours. I'm not a big fan of the long ones.
Us either.
I used to, when I first on there, I would think, my gosh, if it's not an hour, it's not worth my time. Wrong.
I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If it's 30 minutes, it's too long for a ray train. That's about the max I'm going to do.
Exactly how we feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max, because first off, it's not fair to all the other, in my opinion, all the other sellers, because the train riders could get bored. They may come to my show and go, I don't want a dang thing the Gumby Man has. And they leave knowing that Jack's Treasures is next and they have all this cool stuff. But if they leave, chances are they may not come back and go into your show.
Correct.
So a ray train is a bunch of sellers working together for the common good of the train. And they market the train together. They talk about the train ahead of time. And everybody knows who is next. What seller. And it could be, like I said, 5 minutes to an hour or 2 hours, whatever. And they're all combined. And at the end of the day, everybody rode that train and promoted each other and supported each other and all that stuff. Now, lately, a lot of ray trains, there's so many ray trains now, there's a lot of sellers sell more than one a day, which is fine. Used to be, back when ray trains first started, you were committed to that train. And, a lot of conductors will say, please you cannot schedule another show that day, blah, blah, blah. Which back in the day it was fine, but now it's commonplace to have other shows during the train. But the common courtesy, of course, is if I'm a person on a train, I'm not going to promote my show that I'm having later in the day during that train because, again, it's for the common good of everybody on that train. So I was like, I'm riding this train right now. We're doing the climb the ladder. But as soon as I get off, I'm going live again, and you can come back and see me. I've seen sellers do that.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times myself.
Yeah. And sellers like that, unfortunately, won't be asked back on my train.
Right.
Just the way it works.
That makes sense. Yeah. I got a follow up for this one that I didn't have written down, so I just let Tracy know. How long do you think a good ray train in general is? Not each individual show, but like a whole ray train itself.
See, that's tricky. That's really tricky.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a giveaway train, as a matter of fact, just going to slow it out here, I have a killer idea coming up for a giveaway train. I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm not going to spill the beans live, but it's going to happen in the month of October.
Gotcha.
If it's a giveaway train, right, and you're not selling nothing, you're doing nothing but doing giveaways to try to attract followers, which is marketing, right? You can have a giveaway train. Anytime I give anything away, it's marketing. It's cost of marketing to market my brand, the Gumby Man. So whether I give away a you suck at parking card, right? Whether I give away a you suck at parking card or I give away something big, that cost is associated with my marketing. But if you do a giveaway train and people are on it, if you're doing big giveaways, man, you can have a 16-hour train and everybody's still going to benefit.
Right.
To me, the probably the best length of a train, I like to start like my at I think it was 12:45, I think it was, and lasted about 9. So that's about an 8-hour train. I'm extending it a little bit longer by an extra hour for next month because I had so many people saying, oh my gosh, I want on this. So it's going to be 36 slots at 15 minutes versus 31 slots at 15 minutes. So I'm adding an hour to it. But the perfect train probably is 8 hours. If I had to give a number, 8 hours.
Yeah, the problem we have, because we're doing a ray train. We only do one ray train a year. Jack Treasures, I leave ray train to the folks that are really, really good about organizing, putting together, coming up with great ideas like Gumby and some of the others like Hangar 909, CG Boomerang Echo, Secondhand Sarcasm. These people really are good about doing trains like that. We are not. So I said, we're going to do one ray train a year, and it's a Veterans Day ray train. And we actually had to extend it last year.
Have an idea? Holler at me. I'd be more than happy to help you. You know I will.
I know you would too. But we had to expand ours last year to whereas Tracy and I didn't even have a slot on the train at all. We did a beginning and we did an end, and the end was 4 hours after the train was over. Okay, because we were obligated to do another raid train after that. So we took care of all that. This year we doubled we went from 28 people on the train last year to 60 on it this year. And I think I might cap it out at that because of what you just talked about. You know, you don't want these trains to go too long because you're going to lose people on each one of the stages of the train. I think about probably the average amount of time that somebody who is actively engaging and having fun on that train might be 2 hours. So, you know, you got 2 hour groups of people coming through, and that's what you're trying to hold on to.
Plus, from a conductor standpoint, like the one I just did, the Climb the Whatnot Ladder raid train.
Yeah.
I did it solo. I've done collaborations with people before, but this one was mine. I owned it. I want to make sure if it failed, it was on me. If it succeeded, it was on me. So I didn't want to have to blame anybody. Plus I get all the credit. So it works out both ways, right? Either I fail or I succeed.
I will let everybody know Jack's Treasures epically failed.
We did fail, but we made a good.
We made a good we made a good profit on it. But for our goal, my goal was to hit 20, and we hit 16. I mean, but again, we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, I mean, you just do the math. If you sell 10 rungs, that's at the bare minimum at the starting bid. That's a 10 plus a 9 plus an 8 plus a 7 plus a. I don't know the math, but it's a decent
it's $100
show for 13 minutes of selling time.
It would be $100.
No, it would not be $100.
$50.
Maybe. I don't know about
that.
It would not be
it would be $50
if you sell
because
5,
you got a 10, a 9 plus 1.
If you sell 5, it's $15. A 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. That's $15.
Right.
Yeah.
So
plus 6 would be 21, plus 7 would be 28, plus 8 would be 36, plus 9 would be 45.
Okay, I got a damn ass headache now.
$55. $55. There you go.
All right.
But
we are going to talk about it.
But 13 minutes of selling time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
$3 a minute.
Yeah. Oh, we killed that. We destroyed that.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard for Tracy to see this because my printer sucks.
What tools, planning, or communication did you rely on to make sure that your train ran on schedule?
Yes.
Sign Up Genius is your friend. Sign Up Genius is your friend.
I like that too.
A good thumbnail is your friend. Mm-hmm. And communication. You got to stay on.
Yes.
You got to stay on top of it. Excel spreadsheets to put the people's names in, so I can take pictures of it and post it so everybody knows. Me, I'm OCD. When it comes to a raid train, if I sign up through Sign Up Genius, I can access Sign Up Genius on my computer, and I can see every single raid train that I'm on, and I can go back and I can see all the guidelines, right? Do this, don't do this, mob this person, and I can see my time. I can see who's in front of me. I can see who's behind me. So
sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. But Sign Up Genius is the best thing ever for a Whatnot raid train, and it's free. It's free.
Yep.
I don't use the paid version. You might have to see an ad or two when you sign up, but sorry,
whatever.
It's free.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that that you were talking about was being on top of it. When Tracy and I did ours, we had one hiccup on the train, and I was really proud of it because that was the first raid train we had ever done. And it was caused by me because people needed to know the difference of time zones. And that's one of the biggest issues. And that's why I like Sign Up Genie, because Sign Up Genie puts it in one time zone. We state what the time zone is, and then the people can figure it out at that.
Yeah, do the math, folks. But then, as a conductor, 3 or 4 days before the train, I'm going in and I'm checking, does everybody have their right start time? And what I stress to people, a lot of people like to put in, the 2 minutes before time so they know exactly when to start, right? I say, don't do that. Just know to start 2 hours or 2 hours early, 2 minutes early. And that way the conductor can see that exactly what time you're supposed to start. If you start early, that's fine. but I want to be able to, I want to see if it's a 15-minute train and see somebody else has a 10-minute early start time. I'm like, do they know they're starting 10 minutes after this? Or are they going to really plan on starting 10 minutes into somebody else's show? That kind of thing. So
that's a pet peeve of mine too. So I'm actually glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. So because we have to do that with ours ones coming up. What is the basic concept of the climb the whatnot ladder Ray train? What was that basic concept and where'd that come from?
That's me. That's 100% me. Kind of. I like, again, whatnot or anything you do in life, right? You glean stuff from people, right? You see stuff that's being done in other events, other trains, battle trains. I love a good battle train. My friend Christina, OMGYG, is the epitome of amazingness when it comes to putting on battle trains. She's the OG of battle of the best. Not knocking anything that's going on now, but she was the best and still is the best. So I kind of like the battle idea from her. Then I like Dalahala. Dalahala, which again, originally with OMGYG, so I'm throwing her some credit here. She came up, she's the original person with Dalahala, where everything starts at $1. How many items can you sell in a allotted period of time? But then I got thinking, wait a minute, everybody may not want to start their $10 item at $1 and have a chance of taking a loss.
Right.
So my brain got going, what can I do to do $1 holla? I started thinking, well, what would we do like a $5 thing? And I said, well, there's other people do the $5 thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly how I came up with it, but I said, wait a minute, what if we have one for $1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4? And I said, oh my gosh, that's climbing the rungs of a ladder. And that's when I came up with the idea, let's do the climb the whatnot ladder. Now I'm calling it a battle train because that's what it is. Climb the whatnot ladder battle train, where your first item starts at $1, and you can't go to the second rung until that first item sells. And that's why I threw in the part of sweeten the pot. Because a lot of these trains say you can't add anything to it. Well, by gosh, mine you can, right? So, you don't have.
I didn't realize that either.
Okay, we didn't realize that part. Hell, I'd have thrown both of them damn glass pieces together. That bitch would have sold in.
Right. So now everybody knows that. And if you had a chance to be on the train all day, you saw several people on their third try. You get 3 tries to climb a rung. If you don't sell in 3 times, the last rung completed is your score. And you continue selling, right? You continue selling and still making your money. There's no need to stop selling. You still got 5 or 6 minutes.
Dude, I was so deflated. I stopped too. I was like, oh man, God, dang, darn,
go run the pre-bid. Go run the pre-bid at least.
I know. Tracy was like, run the pre-bid, you idiot.
Because once you miss that rung, well, heck yeah, go sell the stuff that people are going to buy. You know they're going to buy it. Got a pre-bid on it. It's going to sell. So at that point in time, you jump around and do whatever you want to. But the object is, the 3 tries, 3 strikes, and you're out. You could throw in something to try to get there. Or you can grab. I made a joke on your show about beg, right? Because some of the shows beforehand, we were joking about begging. I know you
told me to beg.
I know.
I almost went all dog. I almost did.
Please. And it was funny when people would come in at the last minute, swipe in, and save somebody at the last second. You see all these people in the chat going, save, and it just kept the chat going too, which I loved. So
I'm telling you, it was
again, so it's Battle of the Best, Dalahala on steroids, basically.
Right.
So
well, I'll tell you, we've been invited to do the next one, and that's my big goal this weekend with sourcing. It's like I'm sourcing for this train right there.
You're not the only person who's told me that already. I've had people messaging me going, I'm on all these trains. Oh, I'm spinning. I'm out here thinking that I'm not thinking about these other trains. I'm thinking about, that's a good $30 item right there. Or that's a good $7 item right there.
Yeah, we did that. We literally, for 2 days before that train, I told Tracy, I said, what do you think about this one? And we would move stuff around.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
we had like that box of back baseball cards. That was a $20 box of baseball cards. I said, let's put it at 10. It'll sell. Tracy said, I'm worried about that. Let's put it down there to 5. And I said, okay. So we moved it to 5. Then we moved it to 7. Then we moved it to 4. You know, and we're changing stuff out. So we're looking at all of this stuff. And that really was, to me, one of the funnest parts about that train.
The strategy.
Was
strategy.
That exactly it. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly
and everybody had their different version of strategy too, which I loved. Now, vintage, the folks that won it, Graham and Jess, vintage glass couple. I met them at the Wake Forest meetup with Leslie, a Real Workers Passion. They're great people too. But once they said they were on it, the next day they started pre-listing stuff.
Wow.
So they took
the one that had 52 items.
They had 50 items listed.
I remember it.
50 items listed. They sold 48 in the 13 allotted time slot. And they go, we can't sell them more. I said, sell the next 2. You got pre-bids on them. Just sell them. You know, don't count, but sell them. So they sold 50 items, 50 preloaded items, mind you. Okay, that's a whole big difference than just 50 items.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys know that. So 50 items in 14 minutes. And their goal is, they're coming back. They say their goal is to hit that 50 in 13 minutes.
I tell you what, we're going to throw a little link down there below to them and whatnot in our Shine the Light, even though that's not one of our Shine the Light people. But Gumby, I'm going to ask you to just send me a Instagram with them.
I know who they are.
And Tracy knows who they are. And I'm going to put a link down there below. So go ahead and definitely check them out. But that's amazing.
Good people. And they're good people. And not saying nothing negative about people. You have big sellers, and they got their wings and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they're not this, okay? They're like an Amy Parent. Amy Parent has their wings. She's not this. She's just a good, down-to-earth person, and I love that about those kind of people.
I agree with you on that one. You can go ahead and go straight to that one, and then we'll just switch off until we get back over to here. Okay?
How do you go about choosing sellers who would be part of the lineup?
Yeah, that's an important question. I'm telling you.
That is so tricky. That is so tricky because I've had people, even today, message me, "Hey, how do I get on your trains?" And I said, "Well, message me. Tell me what you're interested. Tell me, And I look at their profile. And some of these folks, and I know everybody has to start at 0. I get it. I started at 0. You started at 0. Everybody watching this podcast started at 0. However, I'm not going to throw them into that on their first train. I'm not doing it. It's not fair to them, because it's gonna make them so frustrated. I mean, I know you think trial by fire, all that kind of stuff, but I can't let them do that. I try to, first of all, I have a pretty big circle of folks that I know, right? Mm-hmm. So I first thing I do is I send it out to these guys, like you guys. You one of the first ones I sent for the first one, saying, "Here, I got this idea. Hopefully, it's not going to flop, but here we go." And I send it to people that understand me and that I knew would be able to follow directions. Okay, a lot of battle trains or a lot of trains. Who do I read next? And it's not joking. They're serious. The last minute, who am I supposed to rate? I didn't need any of that because I had that minute buffer on each end and all that kind of stuff. So I sent it to people I know, and now I've a few people messaged me afterwards, they said they want to be on it. I looked at their profile; they've got several thousand sales. I say, hey, taking a chance, come on board because we can't just keep it the same people, right?
Right.
That is the worst thing you can do for a train. It will kill it because people say, oh, that's a click. You gotta know somebody to get on that train. I don't want that. I don't want that because I believe that everybody should have their fair shake. I don't care your background, your money, none of that. None of that matters to me. Mm-hmm. None of that matters. I want everybody to have the same opportunity. However, I'm not going to let a toddler So I don't, see, as I'm saying, I'm not going to let Tyler drive a car. So and
Right.
again,
Right.
I'm not being ugly. I'm just saying you're not ready yet. So what I did, because I had so many
I was about to
newbies-
go into this right here. I saw your post on Facebook earlier today.
There you go. So we're going to segue into, since I had so many people messaging me, how do I get on your trains? I created a new seller rate train. This is for anybody that considers themselves a new seller. It is called,
Awesome.
what's the name of it, Gumby? That darn it. I'm old enough to
Gumby,
get
dog
stuff.
darn it. I don't know if that's a good name for it, Gumby.
No, it's not. Hang on, I'll get my sign up genius. I can tell you what it is. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. That is bad. That I can't remember the name
While
of it.
he's looking it up, if you happen to be a newer whatnot seller, you're watching this, you're trying to get some information,
I'll have a link
learn
down
about
below
rate
for it.
trains, reach out to the Gumby Man. Reach out to the Gumby Man.
It
Yeah.
is called.
And I'm going to put a link down there for the one that he's naming right now. I'm going to put a link down below in the description.
Oh yeah, check me out, Raid Train. Check me out.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically, it's if you consider yourself newer,
Mm-hmm.
there you go. Now it's going to be nothing but newer sellers, and I've put it in the instructions that you may not see the big numbers, right? You may not see big numbers, so be prepared for that. You may get the numbers that you normally get in a show because you got new seller rating and a new seller rating and a new seller. However, my twist is going to be this. I'm going to reach out to all of my whatnot friends on here. I'm going to tell you guys as well to say, do me a favor. Pick a seller, go live for a few minutes, do a PWE giveaway, right? It's going to cost you $1. Going to cost you $1 or whatever you want to do. Get a few people and raid into the room for me. So
I love it.
that way,
okay. Tracy knows me, so she knew right when you said all of that.
We were sitting
in my
both
head. I was
sitting
sitting
here
there thinking, going, okay, whenever this train is coming up, I'm going to go ahead and raid
raids.
into that one. I'm going to do like a video game show or one of my bigger shows. I'm going to bring some people over there.
perfect.
I love the concepts of those new trains. One of the trains that Tracy and I were on last year was Big Fish, Little Fish.
Yep.
And it was like a big seller and a small seller. And the amazing part is we were the big seller. And we were not big sellers, but we had over 5,000 followers.
Right.
Or we had over 5,000 in sales.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, well, you have over 5,000 in sales. And I said, well, yeah, I've been on the platform for 2 years and I never rated anybody. So that was all generic. All of those sales were all generic. But they said, you're the big fish. So I love shows like that. So, Gumby, you didn't even have to say nothing. But I'm telling you right now, when I find out about it, I'm there.
It's funny. Good. Our little fish is now definitely bigger than us by followers, at least. And she runs raid trains all the time. And we're friends with her still to this day.
And she'll be on the Veterans Day raid train too. That's
you ready for this?
Designed by Neo.
Designed by Neo.
She was our little fish.
Oh yeah, you know House of Coop, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna take credit for nothing, but when they were small, they were on one of my trains.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
And now they're freaking huge, and all this fun stuff. So I invited them on this train. They haven't responded. I invited them on the first one. They declined because they had other obligations, and they haven't responded for the second one. But they're busy. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those big names are sometimes hard to get in touch
We
with.
had the same thing where we invited Paul, the Philly Flipper, on the Veterans Day raid train, and he's just so busy that he wasn't able to get to that, and
it filled up.
And it did fill up. But we're making up some room for a couple of other people. If he reached out to me and he said, Brian, I really want to be on it, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna throw on some time at the end for you, or whatever it may be.
That's
you really answered that question. So I'm gonna go on to the next one. What's that?
With my friend Stace, she mentioned me. I sent her a sign up and she didn't see it, and I said, we're full, but I created an extra spot in the front and put her there, and then her and Retro Rally actually swapped later on. But I was happy to see her on there because I don't know her story or not.
I don't. I know. I've seen the name online, but I've never really interacted with her.
She lost her husband. I don't know how. It was like sudden, but she lost her husband, and she's still grieving. And if you heard her on there, she says that she needed to be on there because she needs the community, but she's still struggling. So, and I was just happy to give her.
What's her name again?
Stays.
Stays.
Okay.
Her name
We will
is Susan. Her name is
definitely,
Susan Tays. Susan Tays
Okay.
is her name.
all
That's
right.
where you get Stays.
Another link down below, guys. This one's going to be packed with links. I can already
I'm
tell.
name
This
dropping,
is what
sorry.
happens when me and Gumby get around each other. I can tell you that right now. All right, do you feel that the time and the effort putting together a raid train is worth it now that you have finished the raid train that you did?
I wouldn't change a thing. Of course, I didn't compete because this was the first one, right? So I didn't sell anything. I didn't sell anything because I wanted to make sure that I was going to be there for any hiccup that may have come along. I actually stopped doing raid trains back in January. I was a big conductor. Me and another person did them a lot. Before that, me and another group of people done them a lot. And you have to balance them. Does your name get out there? You got to worry about this, guys. Again, it's all about marketing, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm not trying to really sell myself, but my name gets out there. The Gumby Man gets out there. People start reaching out to me. Hey, can I be on your train? But we have to, as a train conductor, we have to figure out how do we make that beneficial to our brand, right? Because at the end of the day, we're about. It's not about just having friends and laughing and cutting up. It's making a dollar, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love all that part of it. We got to make money to make it worth our time. So you got to. It's a balance. I'm probably not going to be on this next one, but starting in January, I think I will be eased in enough. I have enough people that's going to help me, or I can have a 30-minute slot. I'm not going to win or try to win, that kind of thing. And if I do win, I'm not going to count as a win. But I want to play.
Absolutely. You should.
Definitely. I agree with that. I am definitely.
And if there's anything we can do to help out to get you in there, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's beneficial to a certain point. You gotta. Again, it's a balance. You're not making any money, but you're making friends who in turn can get you into different circles, which in turn can get you the potential to make more money. So it's kind of if you don't do it right, yes, it's not worth it, right? And that's one reason. I think one reason why OMGYG got out of it, because she was doing so many. She was doing so many that when she had a pre-train, she'd have hundreds of people in there getting ready for the train. But when she popped up and did a sale for herself, she wasn't getting many. So
I've noticed that about people who conduct a lot of trains. I don't necessarily always see that that it builds their regular rooms.
A lot of talk show. I know a person at the talk show a lot back in the day. I'm not gonna name drop, but when they did a talk show, they were getting 150.
we name drop a lot, Ken. You can name drop anybody you want. I don't care.
But they were getting 150 to 200 people talking about whatnot. This is a couple years ago. But when they went to have a sale, a show, less than 20.
Right.
So what good was that doing them? They would spend hours talking and helping people, which is good. But at the end of the day, they weren't getting reciprocated. And I felt bad for them because of that. So you got to figure that balance.
That's awesome right there. And I love that part right there. He didn't just sit there and blow smoke up anybody's ass and just say, oh, yeah, you're going to get all of this. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. There's work involved in all of this.
Nope. It's not. If you look at it money-wise, it's probably not worth it. But down the road, it might be. Again, you're planting seeds. You're trying to grow stuff.
Yes.
What are some of the biggest benefits sellers get from participating in a raid train compared to running a solo show?
Yeah.
So what's some of the benefits that sellers get by being on a raid train?
Yeah, compared to having like a solo show.
Standalone show, right? Okay. I have found myself, I prefer now to be on a raid train and sell. First off, number one, it makes me accountable. That means I've signed up for this slot. I got to be there. I got to be ready. Number one. Number two, you normally get people in your shows or in your room that don't always don't want to come to your show. That you may be able to sell something you have sitting there. Your people your people, as in your normal crowd,
Right.
wouldn't buy. So you throw that up. I mean, I found Battle the Best. When I get 150, 200 people in there, sell my big item, I'll start throwing out stuff that my people would buy, but might buy for $5, but I can get other people to buy for $20.
Right.
So, and of course, with crowds come higher sales normally. So that's the benefit of being on a rate train. I prefer being on a rate train than a standalone sale. The only time I'd have a standalone sale, if I'm planning on doing a marathon, I'm going to clean out a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be on for a few hours. There's no way I can work that into a rate train. So it's beneficial. It really, and this new seller rate train, check me out rate train. I had to look at my notes over here. I'm hoping it's going to be beneficial for these new sellers. I really do. I don't want it to be a flop for them. I like the big fish, little fish concept. Matter of fact, the Vintage Syndicate is having another one of those. They asked me to be on it, but the time frame didn't work out for me, so I couldn't jump on. But yeah, that's beneficial if you could take somebody under your wing and help them out. It really is.
That's awesome. Can you share a success story from a raid train that you were part of, or something where something very unexpected or amazing happened on a raid train?
One that I was on,
aside from Jack's Treasures, selling a piece of wood for
that's
such
where
and
I
such
met you guys. I can't remember which one it was, but I met you on a raid train. So,
yes, we met on Paul's raid train.
I think it was during one of the
Dollar Hollow ones.
Shapahala.
It was Shapahala.
Oh, the Shapahala, yeah.
Estate sales or garage sales or whatever they were calling
it. And I won. How we met is
I
won your giveaway, which was
a uranium piece.
Uranium glass.
Plane of uranium glass.
Yeah.
And a cup, yeah. So that's how we met.
Which Shapahala, that was one of OMGY jeans. It's going all back. See, it's going all back to the connections that I made on a raid train that's causing this right here. And this podcast, I don't know if it will or not, may help me out in the future. I don't know.
You never know.
This is marketing. So. This is marketing. So, but something amazing that happened on a raid train.
I know it's hard to pin because we've had the three old
guys.
I've had
so much success on a raid train. I can't think of anything amazing that happened. I will tell you about a time that an item that I found that I sold for a decent amount of money, even though I sold it for crazy undervalue. It was the golden horse. The golden
I remember
horse.
that.
Yep, just about 2 months ago. It was made by IS. It sounds like ISIS. RISIS. I'm not sure to pronounce it, but RISIS. So it's ISIS with an R in front of it. I contacted them. They did guarantee me it was one of their horses, 24 karat gold plated. It sold for $160. I tripped over it at a yard sale.
That's awesome.
That is amazing. I was going to talk about this amazing thing that I saw on a raid train one time. Now, everybody knows that there's some great artists in the world that we have lost very, very recently. One of them that comes to mind would be, what's that fellow's name?
Oh, he's got the little symbol.
Yeah, the little symbol guy. I think his name is Prince.
I think it is.
Yes, he died very unexpectedly. I actually enjoy Prince. There was a Whatnot sighting of Prince on the Gumby Man's channel on one of the raid trains right there. I'm telling you guys, it's amazing. Some of the fun stuff that you guys see on raid trains that are put on by all of these people is amazing. It's one of the best parts about live selling for me.
I'm going to interrupt and say that one time a raid train literally saved my day, if not my week. We had done a show, and it was a very successful standalone show, but it was one of those, everybody had questions and cancellations and blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
it was my video game show.
I was in tears after this 3-hour show. Like, I don't ever want to do Whatnot again. Well, we had another dang raid train that night scheduled. It was the 7-7-on-7 train by CG Boomerang. We went and did that show, and all of our friends were there. Everybody was in the room. People were talking, cheering, laughing. We sold maybe $50 worth of stuff, but it saved my Whatnot day. because
was
it
it
was
7
just such
7
a
7?
positive environment.
That wasn't a 7 seconds and whatnot heaven, was it?
Yeah, I think it was that one. Yes.
Yeah, I was on that one. Yeah.
And it literally just changed my whole opinion about Whatnot that day, from me being in tears to me being like, this is why I love Whatnot.
Ken, I will let you know. I'm going to quote her. I'm going to quote her. We're getting too big. I'm like, what the hell did you just say? We're getting too big. I said, no. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're not scaling down.
Nope.
We scale up.
But yes, just
my goal,
a simple short raid train turned my opinion of Whatnot back around and reminded me why I love it.
And to be honest with you, when I did, I love doing raid trains. I love conducting them. It just didn't work out with people in the past, and that's why I decided to go solo. I used to be in what you call alliances and that kind of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna give advice: don't get in too deep. I've seen so many alliances of sellers that get to where each other, they won't even communicate with each other because of differences, which makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I agree with you.
In zero sense. But so you probably won't ever see me forming an alliance. I will collaborate with folks, no problem. Like if the Vintage Syndicate comes up with an idea, they want to do a raid train, I'll be more than happy to say, hosted by the Gumby man with how they word that in the movie business, in association with the Vintage Syndicators.
Right.
Also, Gumby gets top billing. I ain't giving
that.
him top billing in the Veteran Raid Train. That's for damn sure.
No, I know 100% what you're saying.
I do
right.
too.
So I'm not going that route. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I'm old.
No worries. All right, Tracy, go ahead.
Which one am I on?
You're on that one right
now.
Okay.
For sellers who want to start or join a raid train, what's your best advice for making it successful and fun for both sellers and buyers?
For sellers that want to join a raid train?
Yeah.
Be yourself.
First timers. First
time raid train sellers. Okay. First off, take the opportunity to introduce yourself. Raid trains, to be honest with you, raid trains are all about exposure. They've kind of taken a twist. It used to be all about exposure and not really selling stuff, right?
Right.
Now they've kind of gotten a little bit of both. But take the time, if you're a newbie on a raid train, take the time to talk about you and your brand. Because at the end of the day, nobody else is going to advertise for you. There's nothing wrong with talking about yourself. There's nothing wrong with promoting yourself. Just don't do it at the expense of somebody else. Promote yourself. Be fair. Thank the conductor, right? I get it. The ladder train was hectic. I wasn't expecting a lot of that, But if you have a nonchalant 15, 20 minute, all you're doing is selling, first thing you do, hello, my name is Ken. I am the Gumby man. I sell vintage decor glass. Look at these bottles behind me, blah, 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 blah. But I want to thank Jack's Treasures for letting me on this raid train, because without them, I wouldn't get this exposure that I'm getting now. So, guys, make sure you follow those guys and take care of them and go visit their shows whenever you can. Now, let me sell you this bottle of cherry Pepsi, and that's how you do it. Take the time and always promote yourself. Another thing, too, if you're on a raid train like a Battle of the Best, CG Boomerang tells me I'm the biggest Whatnot pimper there ever was. Because if there's an item that I have on a battle train coming up, every single show I'm in, I'm showing it. Look here, what I have coming up on October 12th.
We have ours behind us.
Yep.
Yeah, right. And point to it or from time to time. Matter of fact, it was funny. Yesterday, what was it yesterday? Oh yeah, I was doing a show yesterday, kind of talking about the day before, and I say, hey, I'm going to be. I know they have the Battle of the Roosters coming up, and I've got one picked out. I picked it up. I was showing it and talking about my Battle of the Rooster, if I get allowed to be on the train. I know it's coming. Hopefully I'll get an invite. And as soon as I did that, guess who popped into my show?
CG
Boomerang, as I was
showing
and talking about.
I can guarantee if she can figure out a way to not invite us on that one, we won't be there because I'm already imagining how much fun this one's going to have with roosters. So she's probably already figuring out how she's going to lose our invites.
I've pretty much pushed the envelope on a couple of things now.
Yeah,
especially on Saturday. And
that's one thing
on that one
that I'm big on. If you've ever been to any of my shows, all my shows are family friendly. I never have explicit content on my show. Again, and nothing against folks that do, but my brand doesn't have that. So, and I've got no problem with that, So that's just me. So just kind of letting me know that you come to my show, your kid's gonna watch.
Right.
Gotcha. All right. Do that and then that.
You do that. I can't read this.
Oh, you can't read that? The dang printer on our machine. All right. Thank you for those great questions and answers, guys, that Gumby answered. That was amazing. A lot of great information on there. This is our What's Up section where we're going to talk about things that are going on Whatnot or live selling or just reselling in general. And Whatnot, they do this, and I'm telling you right now, I keep trying to I need to reach out to somebody on Whatnot and say, look, if you're going to do a damn update, why don't you do it at the least selling time instead of the prime time of the day? They've been doing that, but they did an improvement on the for sellers that are in the pilot customer service program, where all support requests, cancellation requests, and social DMs are consolidated into one general box. They've also done something where are you in the pilot program by any chance of customer service?
I got asked to be in it. I declined because my thought process is I'm paying them to take care of this. Again, that's me. I don't want people coming to me and asking for a refund.
Right. And that is totally understandable. I appreciate people that will sit there and they'll tell us that. We are in that pilot program, and they have removed something called the decline option. So like if somebody puts in a request, we were able to just straight decline the request. And what they've done now is they are saying to the sellers, we're not saying that you can't decline it, because you can decline it. But if it's not covered under Whatnot policy, send them a message to the buyer, letting them know that the reason why it's not going to be approved, and show them any evidence that you want. They're doing this in a matter of trying to perform seller transparency on the platform. There's a lot of good that come with that. And that but was what it was going to be coming to. Do you think this change is better for the buyers, or is it better for sellers?
My opinion is better for the buyers. And that may or may not be the correct way to go. I know you want to have buyer, you want to have, the buyers want to feel good about being able to purchase stuff. I get it. Buyer support or buyer backing the buyers up. But without the sellers, Whatnot doesn't exist. So Whatnot needs to make sure they take care of their sellers, back up their sellers. I'm going to tell you a story I had that showed up in my health, where I sold a piece of Blue Mountain pottery. It was a Blue Mountain pottery swan. It was the Harvest Gold version. It was worth about $45 or $50. I sold it for $35. Person got it. Next thing I know, my health dropped. I'm like, what the heck? My health never drops. So I looked at my health, and it showed, Blue Mountain pottery, damaged on arrival. Okay, that's fair. Okay, maybe you got damaged. I'll get you that, right? Well, I knew who I sold it to. This is back before they changed it to take away the name of the buyer. They had it for a while, the name of the buyer, then took that out. So you can still go find it, but it makes it more difficult to find the buyer. So I went and looked at the buyer and looked in their store, And lo and behold, sat this gorgeous Harvest Gold Blue Mountain Pottery Swan planter. Okay.
Wow.
Now it's possible because Blue Mountain Pottery made a bunch of them, but they used a drip glaze where every single one of them was different.
Right.
I had a picture of mine, so it had a particular swirl in a particular place on the drip glaze on the pottery. Well, I took the screenshot of theirs and zoomed it in, and lo and behold, the exact same swirl in the exact same place.
Wow.
I went to Whatnot.
That
I
is
showed pictures.
ballsy.
I showed pictures, and I said, I don't like this. I don't like the fact that they got a refund. But they politely thanked me, but didn't take it off my health.
Right.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And it was sitting in their shop at full price, excellent condition, zero damage. It said all the things. So, again, I know that happens on every platform. I don't like that concept.
One of the things I have liked about being in the customer service program maybe about a month ago, we had an item that was damaged on shipping.
Yeah.
It was damaged in the mail and they got it and they, opened up a request and I immediately refunded them. Whatnot now allows you to file a USPS claim right there in the platform.
Okay.
As you're accepting it. So I did that. And just a few days ago, we got our refund for it. So we were made whole. They were made whole. I like that. And
that didn't go against your health or not?
It did not.
Okay.
And see, that's one of the good things. I mean, there's definitely a balance that needs to happen between the two to keep those, as you said, if it wasn't for the sellers, there would be no Whatnot. And if there wasn't for buyers, there wouldn't be any sellers. So there is a balance that you have to maintain and stuff. And I think transparency is a big deal with that. So, but I think all platforms have to definitely work on that part to protect scammers that are sellers and protect scammers that are buyers.
Protect from scammers.
Protect from them and stuff like that. All right, we're going to go to our Shine the Light segment. This is where we're going to shine the light on 3 different sellers on 3 different platforms. They are a beginning seller, which is a smaller seller, a growing seller, and an established seller. Our first one is who, Tracy?
Our first seller is our beginner seller. This is Joy Flipper. She's actually never run a show, but she has her first one scheduled. Her name is Lisa. Mm-hmm. She has her first scheduled in October. She's going to be selling plush and toys. She currently has 0 sales, but she has 380 followers.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first show and what was something that you had to overcome?
My first show, I didn't show my face. Which is rare for me, right? That's rare for me.
We didn't either.
I like being face forward. But people, what I had to, believe it or not, what I had to overcome in my first 3 or 4 shows was the fear of talking like this. I had that fear. I can't do it any other way now, right? I like being face forward. But how I overcome my fear, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but someone said, someone made a bet with me or something, well, you go be face forward this one show. I said, okay, I will. Well, my son had an orange wig. He's a Clemson fan. He had an orange wig that he wore to Clemson game.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that after this season.
I know, right?
Hey, I had to go through it all last year. FSU right here, FSU. So I had to go through it last year.
So I put that orange wig on, and the Gumby Man persona on Whatnot was born. And then everybody expected that. And I literally kept the wig on for 1.5 years. Every single show. I even did a live thrifting show out in public with the wig on. So that's how I overcame my fear. Then the problem was, how am I going to get rid of it?
Yes.
How am I going to get rid of the wig? Because it's hot and sweaty and all that stuff. So that's another story for another day.
Well, I'm having that same issue right now with Diana Hanger 909. She keeps challenging me to shock her. And I don't know if I could top what I did last time and not get kicked off the app completely. All right, our growing seller is Francisco. Right now, he is known as Snack Daddy _ official. He was formerly Man of Steel 83. He's a seller on Whatnot. He sells mostly in the snack category with that name. I certainly hope so. But he will be a part of the Veterans Day Raid Train. He has 4.2 thousand in sales and 5.3 thousand followers. He always comes into our shows, and this is how I definitely remember his name, is he always thanks me for my service. And it always means a lot to me when people come in, they see my hat and they thank me for my service. And I appreciate that as always. Do you think that niche sellers have an advantage over everyday sellers or everything sellers?
Wow. Kind of.
Okay.
And here's how I grow. I see what people sell, right?
Right.
And I adapt a little bit here and there, right? One of my best friends on the app, Diane _ 951 Estates, was in the vintage category along with me. Well, she loves plants. So she went over to plants. And now, I mean, she was on the app a year and a half after I was. And now she's pushing 12,000 followers selling plants and has 40, 50, 60 people in a room on any given night. That's like,
awesome.
What the heck? So
there you go.
right. I did my first plant sale a week ago, and I did well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So and she has zero problem with that. That's the difference between some people and other people. Like if you see what I'm selling and you see it's working for me and you want to sell it, by all means, go source it and sell it. I don't care. I don't. But there are some people out there that say, I can't believe you're selling the same thing I'm selling. I don't want nothing to do with you no more. It has happened. It happens.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But
I know. Go ahead.
I really don't care. There's plenty of room, guys.
I know for us, we've probably had our most success with video games as far as the amount of money we made when we get the bigger rooms when we do video games.
Sure.
But I would get bored with that. I love sourcing everything. I love going out and finding treasures.
Yeah, and we will literally do a VHS show. I'll have 5 people in the room, and I'll have a blast. I won't sell but 3.
Right.
But that's not a show that I'm trying to make money. It's more or less a show for me just to connect with people and have a little bit of fun. And when I do my cassette shows, all I do is talk about all the concerts I've been to and all the things and everything that we've done. So you have shows for different reasons and things like that. And, you know, some of them are definitely specific to, man, I need to make some money. When we interviewed Jen's Multiverse said, she goes, I have my money-making show. And that is my Sunday show. And that is my show that makes my entire week. All of my rest of shows are just icing on the top. That's all they are. But that show is my money show, you know, and people have that. You know who this is, right? Can you read that one?
And that's what I've got. That's what I got to get back to. I've got to get back to. See, beforehand, I had a goal. I had a goal of every week I wanted to make X dollar amount between a 7-day period. From Sunday to Saturday, I had my goal. I very rarely miss that. I need to get back to that. So I got to figure out when I need to have a selling show every single week, same time, because consistency matters on this platform.
It definitely does. And also it was something that I wanted to mention, when you have those new buyers that are coming into the thing, tell them to make sure that they have a show scheduled so that you can say, come bookmark my other shows. Come check me out on my other shows. Because there are some people that will be on a show and they don't have anything show scheduled.
I know.
And I can't say, what am I going to say as a moderator? I can't sit there and say, oh, bookmark all their shows when they ain't got none.
Or check out the bin and they got nothing in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And our final spotlight seller this week is an established seller. This is Sunshine Treasures. They are sellers on Whatnot with currently 21.9 thousand in sales and 21.9 thousand in followers.
Consistency.
Kind of they're storage unit buyers based in Florida, and they also source from some of the surrounding states as well. They have super fun shows and are big supporters of the community. Our question for you with this one is, have you ever sourced from a storage unit before?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Awesome.
Oh, wow. So you bought storage units? I love that part.
Yeah, now I haven't done it for Whatnot, but back beforehand. Matter of fact, I used to buy houses. Not buy houses. I used to buy contents. That's how I got my starting. I started after I got out of the smalls, because when I got healthy again, I started flipping furniture. Again, that's where my marketplace group page comes from. I forgot the name of it now. Furniture Plus of Anderson SC. Gosh, I'm getting old, guys. Furniture Plus of Anderson SC.
Yeah, I'll have a link down below as long as I can get Gumby to send it to me.
I will right after I get dinner. Yeah, so I did that, and I would go in these people's houses, which is about pretty much the same thing as a storage unit, right? Because rather than put it in storage, I would come clean the house first. I would go in there, and I would look around, and I would do one of three things. I would say, one, I'm not interested. Either too much junk or whatever the case may be, it's going to take too long. Number two, I'm interested, but you're paying me to clean this stuff out. And I keep all the contents. Or number three would be, yeah, I like it, and I'm paying you X dollar amounts, and I keep the contents. So basically, depending on what I would see on the horizon, not digging into anything, and we would make a deal that once we shook hands, signed a piece of paper, everything belonged to me inside the house, had a certain amount of days to get it out. So that's kind of my storage unit kind of thing. I did do storage units, but my biggest thing was doing it from buying the contents of houses.
Gotcha. Well, we're going to have links down below to all of these three amazing sellers: Sunshine Treasures, Snack Daddy _officials, and Joy Flips. It is now time for us to turn the tables on our little podcast, where we allow our guests to ask us any question that they would like. And Gumby, I'm going to give you the floor, my friend.
Okay, let's think about this. All right, let's go with, what is the weirdest item you have ever sold?
Oh, weirdest we've sold. That's a good one.
I mean, of course, you had to find it. You had to find it, and then you sold it.
See, we can't do the one that we just got because we haven't sold that one yet.
Nope.
Did we sell any of that porn stuff that we got in that one unit on the car?
I did.
Oh, yes.
I did.
Okay. We got this one. We got some very, very like XXX rated comic books.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Now we definitely lost the Gumby man on that one. Let me see if he comes back. I think he might have left the room. I think he might have lost his internet. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about what we did sell.
Yeah.
Tracy found some very explicit comic books, and in those comic books, they were all X-rated. We were not going to sell them on Whatnot. There was no way.
Kind of like a Japanese animation type X-rated. The one I remember in particular was called Bondage Fairies.
Yes.
And I had something like 26 issues of Bondage Fairies comic books. And I looked, you can't sell them on eBay. You can't sell them on Whatnot. Couldn't really find out if you could sell them on Mercari or not. So I thought, well, I'll just throw them up there. And I sold them on Mercari. And I sold them on Mercari for quite a bit of money. I think when everything was all said and done, the Bondage Fairies and some of the other ones we did, we made about $600 on.
We did. We made a ton of money on those, and we had no idea. Okay, I think somebody there. He is. He's back.
Oh,
he's not back. I think Gumby doesn't want to be with us anymore. Did we just run off our first guest?
Oh, he's back.
Did we run you off, Gumby? Gumby, you are here. I can see you now. Gumby, you're live.
You want to remove him? He doesn't know he's live, I
Yes.
don't think. All right.
There you go. I texted him. I got his message. I'm texting him right now.
I know
See
that
if
he
can
has
tell me.
dinner to get to.
He does. He does.
Let's go ahead and kind of wrap this up. If he's able to come in and say goodbye, we will. But we're just going to thank Ken, aka the Gummy Man, for coming out, being part of our amazing podcast.
Mhm.
Next week we're going to have Joe and Nicole, at least Joe, hopefully, and Nicole.
Yeah, we're gonna have Joe and Nicole. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Let's
All right.
see.
Let me add him to the stage.
I'm not
Are you
sure
with
what
us?
happened. Hey, I got booted.
No worries. Yes, no worries. I was sitting there thinking, like, we actually had you on before. You didn't notice that you.
So we removed you
we
so that
removed
you
you
weren't.
so you didn't see anything. But the thing that we did, we talked about, we bought some very explicit comment. We didn't buy them. We got them in a storage unit. We turned around and flipped those on Macari for close to $600 to $700.
Bondage
Awesome.
fairies. Keep your eye open.
Yeah. So thank you again, Gumby Man, for coming in. We got one final question for you. What does the future hold for the Gumby Man?
All right, the Gumby Man wants to be able to do this full time at age 62.
I
Can't
love
wait
that
for
right
it.
there, guys. Let's see if we can make that happen right now. I'm going to have links down below to his amazing site right there. Help us out with Stop Soldier Suicide. Also, the Naughty Cat Cafe, which is not a strip club. Okay. All of those will be linked there down below. Gumby, thank you so much for being in here, man. You know I love you. Are you going to be at the Northeast Tennessee Meetup?
Message me. I need to find out about that. I thought there's one in Atlanta,
Awesome.
wasn't there?
There is one in Atlanta.
too.
That's next month.
We'll send you both info.
We'll send you both
Yep.
of the information on both of those right there. But my friend, you know I love you. Get to have some dinner with your family. There's
Love
going to
you
be a
guys.
red box up there that says to exit, and you can exit out once we finish up the recording. Gumby, peace out, man. We love
See
you.
us next week with I'd Flip That.
Love you guys. See ya.